Chapter 9A. Abby. It was a very odd time for me. I spent nights waking up to the sound of my mother screaming. Old memories awaken again. Pain, suffering, misery. I felt it all. Every ounce of pain I felt. It wasn't the life I wanted, and it wasn't the life my mother wanted. But I guess this is the life I have now. Whatever the case is, I have no choice. My mother, she didn't want this life for me. She didn't want me to grow up to be a killer. But that's what I am now. I'm forced to be a killer. I'm forced to face her demons. I'm forced to kill Dalen. I don't know why. Why do they do this to us? Why are the hunters expected for this? No one knows for sure. Least of all me. I've spent night after night after night just trying to get answers, but none of them ever came to lead anywhere. None of them ever led anywhere. It felt wrong to me. Like I was the reason that this mess was around. Zach even blamed me for it. My curiosity hadn't gotten the better of me. No, we wouldn't be in this mess, he said. But, to be completely fair, he's not wrong. He does speak truth in that. And, well, I guess I have to learn to live with this guilt of getting thousands of hunters killed. With Connor talking about attacking Dalen, things were only going to get worse before they got better. And in Blast, that's exactly what happened last time. Someone trying to think that they can outsmart Dalen. It didn't work. Why hasn't everyone learned that yet? You can't outsmart him. He's too intelligent. Prideful, maybe we can work with that. But intelligence, no. He's smart, he's crafty, he's clever. He knows every one of us better than we know ourselves. That's the reality we live with nowadays, I'm afraid. But it's the life we live. We might as well make the best of it. When Connor and Kyle returned, the name he chose, we immediately started strategizing, trying to figure out a way to make this right. I was talking to Connor in private, and I said, "So, what's your strategy?" "Strategy? What makes you think I have a plan?" "Well, you're the one who's wanting to kill Dalen." And then he sat there for a minute. "Okay. Yeah, I think I got an idea. We have the cape of blinding, right?" "Yeah." "What if we use that?" "Use the cape? But that only fits one person. I doubt we could fit a half army in there." No. Is it possible that we can, put whatever is on it onto several other objects? Disenchant it and then re-enchant other objects with its enchantment? Yeah. I can send it to the Dark Order, see what they can do. But yeah, it won't be as powerful, and the cloak will be destroyed in the process. "Makes sense," he said. "What about you?" "What do you mean, what about me? What's your plan?" "My plan? There's not really much to go over. Listen. We can't do a frontal assault like we did last time. Get too many lives at risk. Too many dead. Yeah, that'd be too risky. What if we can," before he finished the sentence, a hunter ran in and said, "Abby, Connor, you're both needed in the war room immediately." We nodded, and we moved as fast as we could to the war room. On our way there, Connor said, "What do you think it's about?" "In this line of work, it's never good." When we walked into the war room, we saw Genderith sitting there. And my mind immediately knew what was going on. He had come to collect on his debt. They say karma is something that we can't escape. But hey, what do we know? Connor sat there and went like, what? What do you mean? He had that look on his face. Something that made me a little giddy on the inside. He doesn't understand a few things, but it's just nice seeing someone out of the blue once who isn't a civilian. It's nice training a hunter again, because that was my task, training Connor. Kyle sat right next to Genderith, and he just stared at him. For some reason, I got this angry presence with Kyle. Not sure if it was just me or if I was, seeing things. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, I don't know. And then Genderith spoke. Well, I guess it's time. Then Zach entered the room and said, you can't do this. Oh? And why can't I? Because we need all hands on deck. We need more time. No. You've had your time. Have you chosen who has to die? Zach nodded and said, I can grab him right now. His eyes filled with grief. What Genderith was doing was clever. What Genderith was doing was smart. But then Connor spoke up and said, what's this deal about? It's a long story. Basically, we owe him 5 hunters of our choosing. 5 hunters? For what? To die, I said. You have to give up 5 hunters? In what reality does that seem fair? It isn't. It's an agreement. Then Connor said, how about I hit you with another agreement before we finish this one? Oh? And what would that agreement be? A little challenge, shall we? Or should we proceed with this one? He looked at Zach. And Genderith said, puzzlingly, what do you have in mind? We're told we're the best hunters, right? Well, I say we prove it. Your best hunter versus me. And what makes you a skilled hunter? Can't you smell my blood? Yes. I was curious what that was. I assumed you just got back from a hunt or still have nightmare blood. But no, it's on him as well. You both are vampires, I see. Half vampires, he said in a grin. So, what are the stakes to this little game of yours? Simple. If you defeat me, and by defeat I mean kill, then you get the rest of the hunter's order to kill without a fight. My heart stopped beating for a moment when I heard him say that. What are you doing? I whispered to him. And Zach nearly pulled out his gun and shot him in the back of the head immediately. I could feel him reaching for a gun. So, if I do this, you will let me kill the rest of the hunter's order? Yes. And by me, I mean Zach. And what happens if you win? When I win, you forget about this little debt. And what on earth would I agree Why would I agree to this at all? I mean, honestly, I could rather kill 5 hunters now or risk losing a bet. Because it's rather simple. Think about it like this. Dalen killed 1 hunter, a high-ranking hunter, and gained immense strength and power, and a lot of favor in the monster world. Now, here's the question. What would happen if, let's say, a werewolf killed the whole Hunter's Order, or at least the Omen Order? Imagine what strength he'll get. Imagine just how powerful he is. You'll gain a lot of favor and power. 2 things that go a long way in this world. You seriously expect me to believe that? Oh, and did I mention that you'll be killing the sons of Dalen? So, not only will you strike fear into every human on the planet, but you'll be striking fear into Dalen, able to take down his 2 deadliest weapons. Does that sound like an agreement? He sat there for a moment and paused, then said, "What's your angle? I can't figure you out." "My angle? Let's just say I'm a man who's made a mistake, and he doesn't know how to write it, but he's certainly going to try." You made a mistake by, betraying Dalen? You'd rather die than, be brought back to him? Honestly, I can't agree more. It honestly makes a ton of sense. Yes, it is. So, do we have a deal? He sat there for a minute, rubbing his chin. The big wolf was very concerned. The alpha, something wasn't right. If you're able to convince an alpha to not kill, then you've got something. I guess that's something that we didn't see with Connor. His cleverness, because he wasn't done just yet. And he said, "And imagine this. You're that powerful you kill the Omen Order and everyone in it. Imagine what the other orders will do. And then you can kill them all as well. I mean, it only sweetens the pot. Now, doesn't that sound like a good deal?" How would this game be played? Simple. You know the woods outside? Yes. Every night for the next week, you and your best and my best are going to go out there, and we're going to go ahead and hunt each other. He kills me and brings me back, then I lose, and then your end of the agreement is struck. But if I survive, then we wait until the next night. And then if I hunt him and kill him, the same thing applies. And what if neither of you win for a week? Well, then we go back to square one, and then we try to find another alternative. One night is all that's needed for me to win. Confident or egotistical, it's hard to say which one you are. Oh, come now, Gendrith, you know that this is pointless. We might as well make it entertaining. For who? You or me? Rather simple, both of us. Because again, you kill me, you get to kill the rest of the Omen Order. And does the Huntsmaster agree with these terms? Zag sat there, speechless. The rest of us did as well. We couldn't believe what he just agreed us to. And Zach said, I agree. Very well, Connor. You have your deal. Just one question before we begin. Am I allowed to bring a cape? Cloak, more specifically. Am I allowed to bring it to help keep myself warm in the middle of the night? Very well. And then it all started ticking for me. I knew what Connor was planning on doing. He was trying to get somewhere that we couldn't see just yet. The two shook, and he said, I will see you tonight, where your end will begin. And then Connor nodded. I will see you then. Prepare to be disappointed. When Genderith left, everyone stared at Connor and said, what were you thinking? Oh, come on. He's very clearly egotistical. He has a little bit of a pride problem, because otherwise he wouldn't have made this deal. Or at least that's what I'm assuming. What did you guys do to him exactly? Well, we threatened to kill him and his entire clan, and then asked for information afterward. Definitely has a pride problem. He doesn't want to be proven wrong. At least I got that vibe from him. He did not want to be proven wrong. So you bet everyone's life? Yeah. And Zach agreed to it, so you better hope I win. Connor, these are some of the best and most deadly hunters on the planet. And you just signed away all our lives. Did I now? Such little faith in me. Oh, you're the one cracking jokes now, huh? It just comes naturally, I guess. So, how do you plan on winning? Remember that little cape? Or cloak I'm allowed to bring? Yeah. I'm gonna go grab a cloak. And this time, I'm not gonna lose anything. And then, later that night, the hunt began. We sat there outside the woods for hours, the full 8 hours. When Genderith approached, he said, how do you wish to proceed with this? Connor then said, give me 30 seconds. Then send in your hunter, and then the hunt can begin. Very well. A giant werewolf, pale as the snow, with whited out eyes. Well, this certainly is something now, isn't it? Connor said. Connor, I take the, giving our lives away a little more seriously. Again, no faith. Then, the 30 seconds hit. Connor rushed in blindly. He had no idea how to navigate these woods. Neither of them do. I guess that's what Connor got on his side, and the cape of blinding. An hour passed. Nothing. A second hour passed. Nothing. We walked back and forth in front of the forest, pacing. I was beyond nervous, trying to find any way to talk my way out of this one. Maybe I could help in some sort of fashion. Maybe I can... That doesn't work. I kept saying things to myself over and over and over again. And then Sam walked up and said, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. Just worried as to what's wrong with me right now." "Don't worry. I'm fairly certain Connor has it under control. It's been, 3 hours now?" "Yeah. They haven't come out yet." "Yet. We still have more hours to go through. We still have 5 hours left. You really think that's going to be the way this is going to end?" Well, honestly, we really don't have a choice in the matter. So I'm putting my faith in the vampire. Never thought I'd say those words out loud. Yeah, I guess. Another hour passed. Another hour passed. Until we hit the 8th hour. It was about to turn daybreak. And things were getting more interesting. We didn't hear anything or see anything. When the sun finally rose, a few minutes passed, and then Connor came crawling out of the woods. He was okay. He wasn't covered in blood. He was actually doing just fine. He said, "Well, that was a long night." Again, with the jokes, I said, "What?" And then a few more minutes passed, and Genderith's champion came out. Said, "An honorable hunt. You were very adept to your surroundings. Thank you." And he walked away. Genderith then walked up to us and said, "This is far from over. Remember, Connor, you have to win tomorrow's event. Otherwise, my champion gets another chance to bring you down." And he said, "I promise."